welcome to Divine Deep Dive. My name's MJ.
I'm Rochelle.
Are you ready to deep dive with us today?
We're so corny.
You asked about the interrogation, so you want to know the truth? I've never been in a room more than 10 minutes. I didn't know whether the guy did it or not.
So I'm just going to introduce myself. My name's Rochelle. I am studying forensic psychology at uni. I have a diploma in counselling and a qualified therapist, and I just love true crime.
And my name's MJ, and I'm just obsessed with true crime. I'm finally studying statement analysis now, which is like language analysis and that sort of thing. And I'm very interested in body language, and I do a lot of that as a hobby.
So what we're going to be doing, or our aim for our channel, is to deep dive into true crime that we're fascinated about and we can't stop talking about between ourselves. You should see our messenger, it's full of inbox videos. Did you see this one? Have you heard of this case?
I'm watching this right now.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, our aim is to put up a video each week. I have my own separate channel that I'm going to be doing as well, doing basically the psychology, hopefully linked around like the Gabby Petito case. I found a lot of DV in that, domestic violence. So I'm going to do little videos that join with our channel on that as well. So
welcome. We are so happy to have you here. We hope that you come back, and we're looking forward to deep diving with you guys.
Because we're going to become a team. Of sleuths. We're going to be diving into the Brian Laundrie autopsy and the interview with the lawyer. So we're going to go over a few topics in this video, but I'm going to let MJ start with her analysis of the lawyer. So yeah, let's do it.
It was either open to the public on Tuesday or Wednesday, and Chris and Roberta decided that since it was open and available to them, they wanted to go and look for Brian by themselves. After speaking with me,
all right, let's deep dive.
Deep dive.
And 23-year-old purchasing a vehicle to take them across country, a white 2012 Ford Transit van. New van means new adventures. And it would all begin on July 2nd, 2021, from the hamlet of Blue Point in Suffolk County on Long Island, where Gabby and Brian were visiting her parents, celebrating her brother's high school graduation. July 4th, on the road in their new home, outfitted for camping and cooking, the couple snapped photos at Monument Rocks in Scott City, Kansas. Then to Colorado. 2 nights at the campsites at the Great Sand Dunes National Park and Reserve with sand surfing. Next stop.
Okay, so I'm sure everyone by now has seen the interview with the Laundrie's lawyer. His name is, I've just got him down as Bert. So his name is Steve Bertolino. What a character he is.
Oh.
I don't know if anyone else got as annoyed watching that clip as I did. Like,
You like this?
yeah, like your fingernails start digging into your skin. You're like,
I read you.
He just talked so many circles. He didn't want to commit to anything. He kept changing his wording because obviously he doesn't want to be held to his words, and it's just, the whole thing's so sus. But yeah, basically
Suspicious.
Oh, so suspicious. So suspicious. And it was just so funny watching it that he was so happy to go into a ridiculous amount of detail. When it came to stuff he was happy to give detail about, but as soon as there was a question that he knew he could get him into some hot water, just, I can't comment. I can't comment.
So example, give one.
So he says he became involved as pertaining to this case on September 11th. But then when he was asked about conversations he'd had with the Laundries and with Brian between the 1st of September and the 11th of September, when he became their lawyer officially, he then wouldn't give any information on that as well, because he's been their lawyer for so many years and he's known them for decades. And so friends
with Chris Laundrie for a long time. I've seen both of his children grow up, Cassie and Brian. And I did learn of the unfortunate news that Brian's remains were confirmed today through Chris Laundrie. Chris had called me, let me know that police had come to his house this evening to inform them that the remains were positively identified.
That was, or some things weren't confidential, but then some things were, and he just wouldn't give any information. So it's like, okay, we get it, what you're trying to do.
He would dance around the question. Yeah,
danced around, doesn't want to confirm anything, doesn't want to. So basically what I get from that, in my unprofessional standpoint,
she is professional,
is that he doesn't want to answer any questions.
Well, I think as well, I just wanted to point out, he's actually not a criminal lawyer, he's a real estate lawyer. Which I found really interesting.
I didn't even know that.
And I think that's why he's struggling so much, because of, even on the Banfield interview, she ripped shit out of him.
And botanists and entomologists are going to look at the stage of
and really intelligently. I was so impressed. I was like high-fiving myself, like, you go.
Yeah, you go.
Because she was bringing up the questions that really was almost bringing out the answer in him without him knowing.
And he really kind of had to answer it, because when someone's giving details sometimes and not other times, it's what you call a baseline. So if someone's not lying about something in general and they're just giving out information, then they're not lying in general and they're just giving out information. And you ask them something and they suddenly close their mouth, could he get a patient?
It's like it's like when in body language when you're reading someone, and we've known from all the cases like Chris was and things like that, when they go and try and pretend to be this perfect husband and they're like so missing them, their answer will be, oh no, I didn't do that, I had nothing to do with it, and their head, because the body doesn't lie. You can do it for the first second of what you're doing, but once you get into it, your brain goes into the left side of thinking, and you're trying to use the right side at the same time, and it becomes confused, and that's why you can't concentrate on all facets of what you're trying to hide, and it comes out.
Yeah, and your brain, I think I heard this from the behaviour panel, it could have been Chase Hughes, don't quote me on that, they're all amazing.
She's obsessed.
Right, Scott Rouse, just saying. But I think he actually says or it could be Peter Hyatt that actually says it, or they both say, I'm not sure, but they say the brain knows what it knows. So when you're lying, you're trying to, because you've got the information that's correct here, but your brain's like, I can't use any of that because I've got to make something up. So you're trying to remember what you know and then not say that and then think of something else, and it's actually really hard to do, like off the cuff.
The thing about that, because I'm a right brain thinker, so I'm creative, intuitive, I lead with my creative side. A left brain thinker is very analytical, logical, so that's what happens when you are lying, is you're going to the left side of your brain to think, recall the information, even if it's a lie, you've lied about it, you're recalling it. But you have to be creative, so you're using both sides of your brain, and it's very hard.
It's much hard. It's much easier just to tell the truth.
The body can't lie.
If you're just telling the truth, your brain's just saying what happened. It's just saying, it's recalling, it's just saying the thing, and it's fine. But when you start to lie, your body, we do so much with our bodies subconsciously that we don't think about, talking, moving, thinking, breathing, our heartbeats. Our body is just, it runs without us in control of it.
System.
Yeah, it's like on autopilot. So when you start trying to like cut into that and change it and go like, no, don't do the automatic thing you're supposed to do just automatically. I'm going to try and switch to manual control, and it causes all sorts of problems. Yeah, it's much harder than people think. People think they're such good liars, like watching Chris Watts. Watching Chris Watts.
By the way, guys, we're going to do a video on Chris Watts later once we get our head around tech, editing, sets,
lighting.
We hate watching YouTube videos where it's like, people just come on and they're sitting there, and that's what I said to MJ, is I really want to put a lot of visuals and put a lot of effort into our channel, because we are very passionate and very serious about doing this just as a hobby and something just we love doing.
Yeah, we're like Rocky, we've got heart. So much heart. We just don't have the tech and the editing down yet. That's all, we got the heart.
It's taking me hours to learn this shit. Sorry, I keep swearing. I'll have to put little beeps over that. See, that's going to take me like 3 hours to edit this.
Only if you
all my swear words.
We could come up with some nice little noise, like a nice bell. Something instead of like
a ding.
Yeah, something parody.
Coming later in the season.
This case surrounding Gabby Petito, but what will investigators look for specifically in regards to these remains? We know that an anthropologist had to look into this because the remains were so deteriorated.
Yeah, and I understand that I didn't work on this case, so
Correct.
I'm only speaking in hypotheticals, but I understand that the identification was a dental identification, so they know that these are the remains of Brian Laundrie. What they're going to be looking at now, I would think, are two things. One would be what we call postmortem interval. How long has it been since he died? You cannot pinpoint that to the hour or perhaps even the day. But using information about the environment in which the body was lying, you can also bring in other experts, such as entomologists and botanists. Entomologists are going to look at the stage of necrophagous insect development on the body, and I would assume in Florida there's going to be quite a bit of that. The botanists are going to be looking at things such as the development of vegetation growth over Laundrie's remains or over his belongings as well. Those are the kinds of factors that the anthropologist will use along with decomposition to determine a range of how long ago did he die, and they're going to want to know that so that to know if it jives or doesn't jive with witness accounts or the parents' statements or whatever. Where was Brian Laundrie during that time period after Petito died? The other thing they're going to want to look at is manner of death. And the anthropologist should be able to say something, not necessarily, but should be able to say something about this. What he or she will look at is any kind of trauma on the skeleton. You're going to get trauma in cases of blunt instrument damage, in cases of sharp instrument damage, such as a stabbing or a slashing. Of course, a gunshot wounding would also show up on the skeleton. But not everything shows up in bone. Things such as poisoning wouldn't show up in bone. Things like smothering, that's not a question here, but that wouldn't show up on bone. So it will not necessarily, if your gut stabbed, in the belly and it doesn't touch any bone, that's not going to show up.
And really, that's what we have left of him. I mean, it's morbid to think about this, but the heightened interest in this case, even following his death, is just so bizarre on one hand, and then also we have a lot of people who are trying to figure out if we'll ever know what happened to Brian Laundrie or Gabby Petito. Do you know how long it would take an anthropologist to actually uncover some of these clues from examining the bones?
Well, it's going to take the anthropologist, I would think, several days, because if I were doing it, I would want to go over it and just look at it grossly, just look at every single bone, perhaps under a magnifying light. And then I'd want to look at it microscopically. I'd want to see that blown up big and look at every single millimeter of the bone surface to be sure you're not missing some minor thing.
With a lawyer and not even trying to look for your girlfriend, fiance, girlfriend, whatever it is at the time.
Love of your life.
Love of your life, yeah, just it should be fine. It's just fine out there. So, yeah, that's right. So Brian's parents call everybody, every authority, FBI, the press, to tell them that they're going to go for a walk to look for Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's really strange that they would do that. Because I feel like unless you knew you were going to find something, you wouldn't call all of those people and say, hey, come and film it. Because if we find something, you're going to say we planted it.
Yeah, it's
so come
staged,
with us.
Isn't it?
It could have been planted before. It seems very staged and it seems very suspicious.
Yeah, it seems very staged.
And like we said before, they went on a 30 to 40 minute stroll / hike and they found his remains.
Yeah.
Or they found his items which led to his remains. Where the FBI, all the authorities, all the volunteers, hundreds of people, Dog the Bounty Hunter, he had hundreds of volunteers.
Yeah.
He had people donating money to use helicopters, and they would have had like heat, heats, whatever, thermal imaging. 38 days, and these hundreds of people and millions of dollars could not find him, and they find him and they go for a stroll for 30 minutes.
I know, it's just something doesn't sit right with that.
Please. Anyway, it could be legit, but it doesn't seem legit. It very much doesn't seem legit. It's staged,
I think.
So Bert's answer.
I love how she said it.
Bert. Bert's answer to the question regarding this whole coincidence being a whole coincidence was BS.
Yeah.
He's saying, the camera crew, the people that were filming it, are probably better to ask than me because they were there. Yeah,
I would love to see the raw footage of that whole thing.
Yeah,
not those shorts you get on Fox, like the. I would love to see the footage of the whole thing. Like, where were the police? Where were the laundries? Like, what was their body language like when they came out of the bushes with the bag? And
did they walk directly to the place?
Yeah. And when I was seeing Chris, the dad, talking to the FBI agent, you could see, and that's when I knew, before we knew about the death, he put his hand on his shoulder, and that was like, I could imagine what he would have said. I'm sorry, mate, but I think the skeleton is your son. And you could see the body language in him change. Like, he sort of like, it was like a revelation, like, oh, that down, they weren't all perky, it just was like deflated. So yeah, I think that was the conversation. But I'd love to see the whole footage, like them walking in, what their body language was like.
It's interesting as well.
You'd be able to pick up the suspicious if they're like.
Well, that's right. And sometimes, like, people, because you don't know how you're going to react in a situation like that until you're in it. You don't know.
Yeah.
But we've got an idea of how you might react in a situation like that from movies and TV shows and other people.
Doesn't work like that.
So when you think that you're portraying something, it might not actually be what a natural reaction would be. It's what you would think a natural reaction would be. It would be very interesting to see that footage. I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was basically, his answer was a whole bunch of fluff and crap, if you ask me. And I wondered as well why the FBI and all of the police department and everything would spend that money to go and follow them unless they thought that it was going to be.
They must have had some inkling that something.
They thought it seemed
kind of come out of it.
So also in Bert's answers as to, you know, when he spoke to this person and what this person said and when he became their lawyer and the timeline of things, my notes here, I just thought that this was a bit cute. It would be nice if Bert would give a straight answer. That would be nice. It's just from watching the video, it's just a note I put down.
To ask from a lawyer.
Anyone else in the comments, if you agree, just anyone else, actually, if you watch this video and we've edited in, we're going to put parts of this interview in so you can see what we're talking about in case you haven't seen it, because it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah.
But if you could let us know in the comments what you think.
And I'll try and put it in after she's just said that.
Yeah.
I'm doing it editing. Let us know what you think.
So aside from him not giving a straight answer, he is putting all of the responsibility of the confirmation of what he said and when he said it onto the FBI.
Yeah.
He will not say, I said this on Monday. He says, I said this. I don't know if it was Monday evening or Tuesday, and the FBI have gotten in touch with me and confirmed that it was Monday.
Yeah.
So it was Monday, but I don't know if it was Monday. The FBI have said that. It's like, okay, why can't you just say Monday? All right.
He's blurring the lines.
Yeah, mentioning something is not the same as reporting something.
Yeah.
And it keeps interchanging those words and changing them. So I don't believe that he did report Brian missing at all on the 1st. Like I said before, it's very interesting. He's happy to give a lot of details on some things. A lot of details on some things. Like, I was in the car with my daughter.
That's a good indicator. And you can see Ashley kind of pokes him in the areas that he doesn't want to. And he's like, look, I don't want to give you an interview where I can't give you any answers, but what I'm saying is I can't answer that.
Yeah.
And it's like, but why? What are you hiding?
Yeah,
what do you know?
Why? Why not?
Why?
Why not?
But that's a good indicator. So all the things that we said he speaks very clearly about, he knows is it's the safe area, and the grey area or the dark area over here, he fluffs around and he dances around it, and he will not completely answer her question.
Really good what you said. Black and white, he dances around. Grey, he loves the grey.
Yeah.
He lives in the grey. He lives in the grey area. That's his favourite place. All right, so I'm going to have to refer to my notes for this. This gets very confusing. confusing. And I had to watch this video 3 times, and I had to watch it the 3rd time, pausing it and writing down and then playing and then pausing, because it's all over the place.
Yeah. All right, go for it.
So basically he says that so Ashley Banfield, but she could be any one of us. So this is what any one of us would say to him. And we're asking him questions and he doesn't want to answer it. And he's saying that, you know, between the 1st and the 11th, there's all this fluff and there's all this stuff that he doesn't want to confirm anything sort of on camera in an interview and tell us yes or no. He's living in the grey area. So this whole thing about Brian being missing. Is that the dog?
That's him going, let me out, I'm bored in here. Lock me away. How dare you, Mum?
Is that a yawn?
When he comes up to me with food, he'll like he'll be like, where's my food? Like, they talk to you, pug. It's ridiculous.
You do it better.
Gab's about to come, he's about to walk in the door. So, thank you for joining us, guys. We're not those types of people that go like, subscribe to give us more, like, you know, platform. We're just here because we love it. So comment, subscribe,
Yeah,
do
let
what you
us
want.
know what you think. Let us give us some feedback in
That's
the
the only
bottom
reason.
pertaining to us, pertaining to the case, whatever. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. It'd be really exciting to read through some comments.
I know, and engage with you guys. I told you.
Dora rules.
My man's home. Welcome to Australian lifestyle. Thank you guys, and we're looking forward to everyone getting into deep diving with us. Like, this is our new community we're hoping to connect with, and we just love this stuff, so we know you guys do too, and thank you if you stayed to the end of our video. What else do you want to say?
Oh, look, you know, this was a current case.
Yeah.
So this was moving so fast. There were so many updates and information coming out and so many people, like there was so much coverage. It was difficult to really get into it really deep.
Yeah.
But the cases that we do moving forward will obviously follow any current cases that might arise, but we'll be looking into past cases that are sort of closed cases or solved cases or unsolved cases. And we'll be able to get a lot deeper into the detail and do a lot more research and digging and stuff, because there won't be new stuff popping up every 5 minutes. So we're really looking forward to that.
We were a bit behind the ball with like setting it up. We were trying to get it all done, but
we filmed like 3 times during, but there was so many updates and editing,
and we're like amateurs at this, so we were like, holy shit. And to put these lashes on, guys, come on.
The lashes
this
alone.
takes forever.
Just we had to wear the same clothes twice in a row.
Because we did. Because we kept looking at each other when we were filming instead of looking at the camera, and hopefully we're going to get better at this.
Try and
professional. Salvage the footage.
We should put that up one day.
Oh yeah.
You know, if this works out and we get, you know, we do well and it's popular and we're still doing
we'll
this.
do a fun reel at the end of the year.
Yeah.
On our anniversary.
That'll be great. That'll be a great flashback.
And just to let you guys know as well, I will be doing my own private channel, but it'll be connected. But I'm going to be doing more. It will just be me doing. So in the Gabby Petito case, there was a lot of domestic violence, and I really want to do a video just going through the psychology of that, giving you guys some information to be able to recognize if you are in a DV relationship and understand that the behavior escalates to its peak when you leave them, because it's about control. So I'm going to help educate, do our true crime, and we just can't wait to get out there and connect with all you guys and be a part of the community. So thank you very much. See you next time. Deep dive. Dig. Oh my God, we did it.
We did it. Oh my goodness.
I know. I'm bored in here.